In her 30-ish Black female voice, she asked, "Why didn't we fight back in the face of oppression?" The cry, mixed in her criticism, revealed that she'd asked this question many times before, and that she wished we had fought back. I wasn't running the workshop, so it took restraint for me to be quiet. Inside, I was shouting, "We did, sister. We did. We continue to do so today." I could tell that she didn't know our legacy of fighting back. She probably knew the great Nat Turner. She may have known of Gabriel Prosser. We've all heard of Harriet Tubman. And we certainly owe a debt to these warriors. Still, most of us only know of scattered resistance, runaways, rebellions, and maroon communities we established in desolate swamps and rocky hills to avoid being recaptured by the portrayed powerful Europeans. We know a lot about the brutality heaped upon us, not enough about our resilience struggling to survive, and too much about betraying others who dare to fight the barbarians. There is a reason for the stories you know and those you don't know. We'll get to that later. Right now, let's introduce you to some facts and stories this course will illuminate. 39 years after Christopher Columbus invaded Haiti, the Spanish sent 500 to 600 invader colonists to Sapelo Island near the coastal border of South Carolina and Georgia. Those names didn't exist then. Over 100 years before the English invader colonists arrived in 1619, the Spanish sought to take land away from the native peoples. The native peoples called it Turtle Island. On this particular occasion in 1526, 3 shiploads of Spaniards invaded, dragging 100 Africans in chains. Their mission was to create an invader colony called San Miguel de Gualdape. Their goals included taking land and resources, subduing or killing the natives, and forcing us to labor for them for free, giving themselves some ease and status that they could not acquire at home. And finally, to send Spain and their individual investors some profit. The invaders faced 3 challenges: hunger, the native Gullah people, and 100 of our ancestors who were too used to freedom. Let me say that again. 100 of our ancestors that were too used to freedom. We healed from the cultural shock and the pain of psychic and physical abuse. We built trust through language barriers and through conflicts we had known back home for generations. We tapped into the deeper cultural and spiritual rivers that bound us together. We organized, struck, and burned San Miguel de Gualdape to the ground. Of the original 500 or 600, only 150 Spaniards boarded the boat headed back to Spain or wherever. We were free. We established our own communities and negotiated an existence with the Gullah people. So from the very beginning, from the first time we were brought here in bondage in 1526, we fought the oppressors and freed ourselves from captivity on these shores. That tradition of attacking our captors for our freedom continued until we finally won our independence from legal bondage by leading the North to victory in the uncivil war. This is the story that you will learn. It's not a story of reconciliation. It's not a story of earning equality or earning the respect of others. It is a glorious story of a people determined to live freely again. Determined to recreate home, Africa, here on these shores, and determined to return to keep the promises. Forced onto the death ships with hypocritical names like the Blessing and the good ship Jesus, as we saw the shores of our motherland vanish on the horizon, we whispered on the midnight air to the Creator whom we knew by many names. We whispered in the tongues of our ancestors, the elders, the parents, the family, the loved ones. We whispered promises that we would survive, that we would remember what they taught us and build on it. We promised that somehow we would return home. While bound on those boats, we spat promises mixed with blood through the iron shackles to avenge, vindicate, and restore the balance that we once knew. This story is not finished. This course puts you right in it. More accurately, it reminds you to find your place in it, to write the chapters, the lyrics, and verses of your generation. Join us for the Gullah and Black Seminole 100 Years War, so that you won't ever have to ask again, why didn't we fight back?